Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how I did this doll makeup look. This is the last video for Halloween. Happy Halloween! I love Halloween so much. If you're going out like trick-or-treating or to a costume party or something, if you're going out to do anything for Halloween, please be careful, but also have fun. I hope you guys have enjoyed these Halloween makeup videos. I had a lot of fun filming them and editing them, and I'm excited already for next year. I've already got some ideas brewing for next year that I didn't get a chance to do this year. Hopefully I'll be able to do that for you guys. But now I'm gonna shut up and we'll jump straight into the tutorial. I said it right the first time, oh my god! First I'm going to start off by priming my eyes. Now normally I would use the NYX eye primer in the pot to do this, but recently I've been trying something different and I've been using my Can't Stop Won't Stop concealer from NYX in Fair to prime my eyes, and I've been liking it a lot better so far. It seems to cover the veins on my eyelids and the slight discoloration I have there a lot better than their eye primer, and I've noticed by the end of the night so far, knock on wood, I haven't had nearly as much creasing as I have with the eye primer. I don't put a whole lot on. This seems like a lot, but it's really not. And the brush I didn't grab the brush I usually use, so I'm just gonna grab what I usually use for under my eyes and use that instead. And I'm spreading it all the way up to my brow bone. I kind of like this brush better for spreading it than my usual brush, which is probably a good thing since my usual brush is actually broken, in case you never noticed. I don't know what is going on with my left lower leg today, but it is achy as fuck. I should probably stop cursing, at least on film. And my usual setup is different this time. I know it's the last video for Halloween, and I actually decided to change my setup again. I'm not sitting on my chair this time, I'm sitting on the floor, because it's actually, when I do my makeup normally, I'm sitting on the floor. So this feels better to me, more natural. And to set my eyes, I'm not changing anything there. I'm using my NYX #NoFilter powder in porcelain. And using the same brush. The concealer is what will help make the eyeshadow stick. The powder, or whatever you decide to use to set. You could use eyeshadow, you could use face powder, you could even use baby powder if you really wanted to. The powder will just help the eyeshadows, oh my god, blend more. Oh my god, it's loose. My powder's loose. Well, the thing hold. Okay, I'm gonna be careful about doing this. Though it's pressed into the pan, it's not like a loose powder you tap out, that's not what I mean. But when I close it and I hold it up, it comes out. Granted, this is over a year old. Oh my god. Yeah, that's okay. I gotta be careful with that then. Okay. I mean, I'm not tossing it because it's not like shattered or anything. It's just the whole thing is loose. Okay, now I'm going to dip into my NYX Machinist Steam palette. And using a nice, big, decent sized fluffy brush, I'm going to take this brown here. Another one you could use, I don't think NYX sells the Machinist palettes anymore because they were limited edition. Milani just came out with their Gilded palettes, and I have the Gilded Noir palette. I love that palette, by the way. If you don't have this one, you can use, there's a light brown shade that's pretty close to this one in that palette. Or you can use whatever light brown you have, or whatever will work for your skin tone to define your crease. Which is literally what I'm doing, I'm just defining my crease. In fact, actually, I probably should have just used my eye primer, because my eye primer is a darker shade than my concealer. But here we are, but oh well, here we are. I also like with this setup, I don't have to hold a tiny mirror up and do my eyes. Not that I didn't not that that didn't necessarily work. Hello? Not that that necessarily didn't work. It just wasn't very convenient for me because I like bigger mirrors, especially since I have astigmatism. It's really hard for me to see. Well, it's not really hard for me to see. It's harder for me to see out of my right eye than my left eye, which is why which is kind of weird, because you would think, I should probably explain what I'm doing with this eyeshadow. I'm just defining my crease. Right now I'm just putting this in my crease, but I might end up spreading it all over my eyelid, since the concealer is so light, and I hadn't thought about that. What was I saying? What was I saying? Oh yeah, it's kind of weird because my left eye usually is my good side when it comes to photo taking, because I can raise my left eyebrow, which is what I like to do in photos. See, let me just... See? I can raise my left eyebrow. My contour is better on my left side for some reason, even though I don't do anything different on my right side. Yeah, I'm gonna be taking this color all over my eyelid. Hang on. Where did I bring? I did. Okay, I'm just gonna use a flatter brush to pack it on. Never actually put this shade all over my eyelid. I usually just use it in the crease as a transition. And I'm gonna bring that up almost to my brow, just stopping shy of it, because I want to put a bit of a highlight there. Nothing too dramatic, just something to define it a bit. I'll probably use, and this goes against every fiber in my soul, a matte white eyeshadow to highlight my brow bone. That doesn't feel right saying that, I gotta be honest. I think now I'm going to move on to the face because I'm not entirely sure what I want to do to the rest of my eyes right now. I'm gonna take the NYX Shine Killer primer. I'm just gonna take a little bit, like a drop, that much, on my fingers and rub it between my fingertips because I don't need that much. I'm just gonna put this on my nose and any excess on my forehead, basically my T-zone. And now for the rest of my face, my holy grail for blurring my skin, the Urban Decay Optical Illusion Primer. I know this is expensive. My mom actually gave this to me because she bought we were at Ulta, and you know how at Ulta there's like there's a stand of all like the smaller versions of products from certain brands. This is the smaller version of the Optical Illusion Primer, which is $16, at least in the US. I don't know if Ulta stores are open internationally or if they're just in America. But she tried it, she didn't care for it, so she gave it to me, which I took because I've always wanted to try the Optical Illusion Primer because I've heard nothing but good things about it, except for my mom who didn't work for her. You don't need much. The first time I used it, I took a little too much. You don't need much of this. Probably I take about as much as I do the Shine Killer, and I rub it between my fingers. It's kind of tacky, and I don't put it all over my face. I just put it right here, like under my eyes and down next to my nose, and I spread it out across the tops of my cheeks, and then I'll put some of the excess on my fingers on my top, right here, my top of my, this isn't my lip, but you know what I mean, and a little bit on my chin. And the first time I used this, I was actually shook. I've never seen a primer, not even the NYX Pore Filler, which is what I used to use. It blurs my pores down next to my nose, and it blurs some of the texture under my eyes. Not a whole lot, because I've got an assload of texture under my eyes and some dark circles. But it helps blur the texture under my eyes, and it does it so nicely, and it feels so smooth. Like, it doesn't feel like I've got makeup on there. It's a little tacky, but that's normal because it's a primer. I love it a lot. And look at that. My mom's had this for a year, and it's like still half full. Now for foundation, normally I would take the NYX Bear With Me skin tint, because that's what I usually use because I'm lucky enough with my skin that I don't feel the need to wear like anything more than the skin tint for coverage. But this time, because I'm turning myself into a doll, I want my skin to be as perfect as I can get it with the products that I have. I'm going to take the NYX Total Control Drop Foundation in light. Oh, I thought you were fair. Okay, but you're light. Should I do it like Instagram models, Instagram influencers? Oh god. That was a mistake. I'm just gonna spread it all over my face. This foundation is a medium coverage, I believe. And you can build it up if you want. I usually don't because I like the coverage. Maybe that'll be the thumbnail. Probably not. Because I like the coverage that it gives me with just one application. I haven't worn this since I went for my high school graduation photos. Oh god, I just dribbled on my pants. Awesome. Well, these have to go in the wash tonight anyway. I'm not using... Oh wait, that's a lie. I was about to say I'm not using any other cream products, but that's a lie. I'm going to go back in with my NYX concealer, and I'm going to do my under eyes just a little bit. I don't like to use a whole lot because this concealer I think is meant to be pretty much full coverage, if I remember right. I just thought, just like that, right on top of my dark circles, and I'm using the brush I used to prime my eyes. I just blend it out. I like to take it up to my inner corner. I focus it mainly on my dark circles, but you know, I gotta make sure shit's even. Scary about how I found out that this worked for me, or that I had the right concealer shade for it, is that I did it the day of my graduation photo shoot. I hadn't practiced it before. The eye makeup I had practiced before, but concealing my dark circles I had not. So that was kind of terrifying. Now I'm going to go back in with my face powder and I'm going to set my face, starting with my under eye. I don't take nearly as much powder on the brush as I took for my eyelids. But I just kind of half press, half swipe it on. Because one thing I have noticed about this powder is that when I put it on top of the concealer, at least like this, it tends to bring out the texture under my eyes that the primer hid, or blurred, whatever. And now on a big fluffy brush, I'm just going to swirl it in the powder, and I'm going to powder the rest of my face. So I know it's Halloween when this video is going up, unless I change my mind and decide to put it up the day before Halloween. But I hope your Halloween is good. Stay safe, don't be stupid if you're going out, and if you're staying home, because there are weird frickin' people on Halloween, I swear to God. I used to go out when I was a kid, but then once I turned, God, I don't remember what age, but once I was a teenager, I stopped going trick-or-treating and I just stayed home, which I didn't mind actually. Now I'm going to contour my cheeks, and for this I'm going to use the NYX You Sculpted Contour and Highlight Palette. I don't know if I'm going to go super heavy with this or not. Where's my contour brush? There you are. Okay. I'm going to go into the shade Soft Contour. I'm just going to when I go in for more product, I'm just lightly tapping into the pan once and then tapping off any excess. Because I don't want this to be like I want this to be as little... I can't get the phrasing right. I don't want this to be like a beauty contour. I want this to be like I'm changing the shape of my face contour, if that makes sense. Because you know what they say, if the men find out we can shapeshift, they're going to tell the church. I'm just going to press it into the hollows of my cheeks first, and then kind of swipe back and forth lightly. I want a shadow, not a color? I have no idea if I'm making sense. I'm going to do my brows really quick with the NYX Micro Brow Pencil in Ash Brown. This is actually a brand new pencil. I literally just opened it today. I haven't used it yet. because my old one, the one I've used for like over a year, I kept turning it and 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 turning it, and it wouldn't come out. And and of course that was on like a Saturday, right? So you know, I've done my makeup, literally everything, but my brows were done. I even had highlighter on, but my brows weren't done. So when I was done with everything else, I just decided I'm just gonna try again, and of course that's when it came out, which I'm glad about. But so anyway, I'm just gonna take the spoolie end of the brush and brush all my brow hairs up and out. I am no expert at brows. I don't do anything fancy. I don't sculpt them out. I don't carve them out or anything. I just kind of fill them in as I see fit, which means I just go through them. Any areas that are uneven or sparse, I put a little bit extra in. I like to extend the tails of my brows ever so slightly down to a little point. And my brow hairs are kind of sparse, at least on my right eyebrow at the front. So I just very, very lightly like to color in the hairs, make them appear longer, because I went a little bit haywire with the razor once and cut them too short, and now they haven't grown back to their right length yet. And I'm going to do the same with my left eyebrow. I need to pluck my eyebrows. I forgot to mention, when I'm done filling them in with the pencil, I take the spoolie and I run through my eyebrows again. Now I'm going to go back to my eyes. I think eyeshadow wise, I'm going to leave them how they are now. I'm just going to go back into the brown and add more as needed to my eyelids. And now this is probably the most painful part for me, but to highlight my brow bone, I'm not going to use a sparkly highlighter. I'm going to go into the matte white shade in the palette. You don't have to have this palette for that, obviously. Any matte white shade will do. And I'm going to highlight my brow bone with that. I used to use white to highlight my brow. And then I discovered highlighter. And, well, discovered is the wrong word. And then I got my first highlighter palette. And, my world was forever changed. I can't remember the last time I used white to highlight my brow bone after that. Because then I got more highlighters. And, it just was never quite, using white was never quite the same for me. Not that I dislike using a matte highlighter or a matte shadow to highlight. I just prefer, you know, actual highlighters. And now, just so you guys know, I have decided to say screw it and take my Disney Villains Colourpop Maleficent highlighter and add just a bit of that to my brow bone. Not a whole lot. I don't, as much as I love glowing to the heavens, that's not what I'm going for today. So I'm just going to take a bit on my brush and I'm going to put it over the white eyeshadow. See, that's not bad. A nice shine. It's probably too much. Whenever I see highlighters on sale or anything, or someone comes out with a new highlighter, I'm also going to take this highlighter and pop it on my inner corners. Just the highlighter, no eyeshadow. Or sometimes I will swatch highlighters that are like on samples like at Ulta or whatever. And my mom will look at me and be like, do you really need more highlighters? Or she'll say, you don't need more highlighters. And I'll look at her and go, have you met me? You could never have too many highlighters. And there are so many brands that I haven't tried. You know, like, Ulta's having their 21 Days of Beauty, and for Cosmetics, their highlighters were like $14, $15 something each. I couldn't go because I didn't have the car or the money. But my mom's like, do you really need new highlighters? I'm like, no. She goes, oh, so this is a want, not a need. And I'm like, well, yeah, it's a want, not a need. But I've always wanted to try Ofra highlighters. But if the day will come when I am able to get an Ofra highlighter, and it's going to be the Ofra highlighter in Nikki Tutorials Trio palette that I have seen Ulta carry, because I want to try them so bad. Now I'm going to take my NYX Jumbo pencil in Milk, and I'm going to line my waterline with it. Hey, I'm actually going to be in shot for this. Holy shit. Oh god, I touched my eyeball. Oh god. I need a smaller white pencil, man. I have no problems lining my waterline with my smaller black Maybelline pencil. But I think that's just because it's a smaller pencil, there's less risk of me touching my eyeball. I've never touched my eyeball with a pencil as much as I have now. I don't even touch it this much when I usually put white in my waterline. The purpose of putting white in my waterline is to open my eyes up, make them appear bigger, which, you know, when you're a doll, your eyes are supposed to be... I'm gonna kill you in your sleep. Dolls kind of creep me out, to be honest. Like, clearly Funkos don't creep me out, because I have over 200. And I used to collect the Monster High dolls. I don't know if they're just in storage or if I ended up selling them. But I used to have those instead of Funkos. And they didn't creep me out as much either. So, I don't know, I think it's just like the old-fashioned, like, traditional type dolls that creep me out. Like, I know in storage somewhere I still have my Bitty Baby dolls. And now those things would creep me out. I had one of those, where they go? I had a Baby Alive doll when I was little. And the thing did not creep me out at the time. But now the Baby Alives just make me uncomfy. Now I'm going to line my top lash line with the NYX Epic Ink liner in black. And I'm just going to do it nice and thin. And for this, I'm going to try a trick that I've only done a couple times before. I'm going to press the side of the pen against my lash line. And on my outer corner, I just drew it like normal, because I couldn't see what I was doing. And for the inner quarter of my lash line, I'm going to draw it like normal too. If you wanted to, you could tightline your upper waterline with a black pencil, but I've never tried tightlining my upper waterline, and I'm not gonna start today because it's terrifying. But then that's what I said about lining my waterline as well. So maybe someday I will try that. Now I'm going to curl the shit out of my lashes. I like how when I started doing this makeup, I said I should probably stop cursing on this channel, and I have continued to curse. I should probably mention that this mascara is the NYX On The Rise mascara, which I love. Oh god, I blinked too hard. Okay. It scared me. But we're fine. I'm going to take this smaller blending brush, and I'm going to go back into that brown shade just lightly. And I'm going to run it under my eye and connect it to my top lid. I'm going to go back with that first blending brush, and I'm just going to wipe off the excess off the back of my hand. I'm going to blend out the edges really quick, just roughly. And now I'm going to go back with my brow pencil. And I'm going to try something I've never done before. I'm going to just add some freckles across my nose here. I've never done this before. I'm kind of scared too. I'm just kind of half dotting, half swiping them on. I'm going to tap them out with my finger a little bit. Now I'm going to go back into that highlighter I used on my eyes, and I'm just going to take a little bit on my fingertip. And I'm going to tap this onto my cheekbone. Not a whole lot. Like my eyes, I don't want it to be like blending to the gods. I just want a little bit of glow. Just a little bit. Dolls aren't usually shiny. This is probably too much anyway, but here we are. I'm going to put my glasses on now so I can see just a little bit better. I need to clean them again. I cleaned them this morning. They're dirty again. Now for lips, I'm going to take the NYX Liquid Suede liquid lipstick in Soft Spoken. This is a nice nude shade. I really like this. And I'm just going to fill in my lips with this. And now for the fun part that makes you look like a doll and not just like you've got some kind of like natural neutral makeup going on. I'm going to go back in with my liquid liner, and I'm going to draw 2 lines going down from the corners of my mouth as if that's how the doll's mouth could open, which I guess is kind of more like a puppet, but I'm going to do it anyway because otherwise you can't really tell it's a doll. Let's hope. I wish I could just like copy and paste this line onto the other side of my mouth. I'm not meaning to move, but like my mouth keeps twitching. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell if you want to see more stuff like this. Make sure you check me out on my Instagram at PSC Makeup Artistry. There will be a link to that in the description, as well as a list of all the products I used on my face. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in whatever I decide to put up next. Bye!